Well, it's a 2,700 acre beautiful redwoods.
2,700 acres.
And it looks like Yosemite. It's the biggest redwoods you've ever seen, but there's not tourists. And
what would be the purpose for such a facility or for such a...
Well, the history's known. Mark Twain and others, when they were in San Francisco, bought the land and set it up as an artist retreat. It was very, very liberal. And then William Howard Taft, right around the turn of the last century, about 120 years ago, they came in and bought it. The president bought it with a consortium.
Right. Did they buy it with the American public's money?
No, just a bunch of robber barons bought it.
Okay, gotcha.
And then they threw out a lot of the artists, but kept some of them.
Okay.
And then it was just a place to, let their hair down and do all sorts of stuff. And
also stuff, just give me an idea.
Even back then there was, gay stuff going on, all that kind of stuff.
Okay.
Sex.
Because I want to.
But they'd also down the road they built a whole camp and stuff where they wouldn't let the women in, but they ship in a bunch of hookers. And then they put a railway into it.
So orgies and stuff.
Orgies, yeah.
All right, cool.
And,
I ain't really got no real big problem.
But then over time, they brought a German death cult over, same one they have at Skull and Bones. And
Skull and Bones, the Bilderberg group and such.
Yeah, and which those are a German chancellor came out. Mm-hmm. And he wrote a book, Men in Power is a Political Retrospective.
Right.
For the name of the prime minister, my brain's failing. Mm-hmm. But it's political. Men in Power is a Political Retrospective.
All right.
He said, we have our own rituals in Germany, but we really like the ones we do out there.
Right.
And so by the turn of not this century, but the century before, about 120 years ago, it became super elite. Expected it still took a few weeks to go across the country from D.C. or New York. So they stay sometimes a whole month once they got there.
Okay.
And so the robber barons, the most rich people, and the Rockefellers, all of them started going there. And then they started doing Druidic and Germanic rituals and reportedly even human sacrifice there. And then kids started disappearing in the area. It was being reported, over 100 years ago that kids were missing quite a bit. That they were
missing children seemed to be
the threat.
A repetitive narrative.
Yeah.
So it seems like children or innocents are the fuel to this.
Just like in the new Skeksis Netflix thing that's excellent. They literally take the innocent Gethling and they suck its energy.
You say the new what?
The new Dark Crystal show.
I haven't seen it.
Is an allegory of exactly what they're doing. So I got contacted by a reporter with Channel 4, and he said, I've got people that work there, and they want it to be exposed, but we can't have the liability. And I know you've snuck into some places, done some investigative reporting on some military drills that we're practicing to round people up and stuff. If we got you a ticket and got you, the inside deal, you can still get arrested by the Secret Service because presidents and people go there. But will you sneak in? And I said yes.
So you were prompted by a facility or like a group.
Yes, and it turns out.
Who was this group again?
Turns out it was the Democrats, basically. Because Bohemian Grove is mainly Republican.
Okay, go ahead. Let's go.
And so I'm like, I'm 45 now. This was in 2000, so I was a lot younger.
Okay.
And I later learned I was set up. So instead of getting into the occult part of it, let me hit this first. So I sneak in, I get in there. Secret Service questions me. I've been given passcodes to what club I'm in, but still they act suspicious. So I climb under one of these houses, log cabins, until it gets dark. Because I was supposed to be there on July 15th to catch the cremation of care, a mock human sacrifice of a child in front of this giant owl that also doubles as a giant bull, Moloch, where they sacrifice kids in Tyre in the Middle East. So
that owl represents the sacrifice of children.
Yes. Well, and Moloch's also
the same owl that is present in Adult Swim, the same owl that is present even in OVO for Drake and his record label. But that owl, you saying, whether it is knowingly or unbeknownst to the person who uses it, it represents the sacrifice of children.
Well, any symbol could have multiple uses, but it is in the National Press Club symbol, and the press has also gone there secretly. So it's part of them being compromised. And yes, the reason they worship the owl in that particular form, because it can be another thing in Greek mythology, knowledge, and things like that, is that the owl is a bird of prey. America is a bald eagle, and Iran is an eagle, and everybody likes eagles. Okay, because it's up there, it can see, it's smart. You can't see it. The owl's. A great horned owl is bigger than the bald eagle. It'd kill one. I mean, it's meaner than hell. It's got big old eyes, and it can see in the dark.
Right.
So, see, it's got knowledge. It can see you like special forces, but you can't see it.
Right.
You're in the dark. It walks right over and just grabs you and eats you, and you can't do a damn thing. And it kills other birds. It kills eagles at night. Eagles get down on their nest at night. They fear the owls. The owls come in. They hunt other royal birds, as you would call them. So the great horned owl.
What kind of terrain would it be where an owl would hunt an eagle?
A place just like those redwoods. So it's the ultimate predator. But nobody's got the owl as their national symbol.
So in the Bohemian Grove is where owls hunt eagles.
Basically.
Or terrain such as that.
And so it's all a play on that, like, hey, we're the real bird.
I got
we
you.
We only operate in the.
So you think this American bird is the bird you need to be looking at for, but in actuality is really this one.
Yeah, it's saying our national bird is really a great horned owl.
Right.
Twice the size of a bald eagle. And I mean, have you ever seen one?
What did you see when you broke in?
Let me tell you, sometimes in Austin, we've got these great horned owls. You got them here too. You'll be walking sometimes in the woods. You look over at the edge, and there's one sitting up at the top of a tree, up out of the brush, just looking at you. It's got eyes like that big.
Yellow eyes.
Yeah, it looks like Batman. It's scary as hell. Yeah. But anyways, it's one of the scariest things you ever see is when you look over, you feel it looking, you look over, and there's that great horned owl, those big old yellow eyes.
But that's what you saw.
Well, they've got a 50-foot tall stone one, and they bring a child to it, and then they have the priest all out in front of it.
Did you see it did you see a child?
Yeah, they brought a child in effigy in.
You saw that?
Yeah, I hid out. I crawled out, but then later I learned what happened.
Wait a minute. Whoa. So you actually hid out, you looked, and you saw a child be brought to a 50-foot statue of an owl.
Well, they said it was a mock child, but yes.
They said it was a mock child.
But the thing is,
a child?
They put all their troubles on the child, and then the deity, and at that time Walter Cronkite was still alive, he did the voice. So, but theater all comes from rituals. So theater, the priest would get up and do theater as part of the rituals. So we're in the church, out into the redwoods, around this little pond. They're in front of it.
It was people who broke in with you?
No, there's all the members are watching.
But you said we. You said we were.
No, we're all there. I'm there with the people watching it. And
but you're in hiding.
No, I've come out at night. I get in during the day. They question me. It's still 3 hours till night. I cover it all in my film, Dark Secrets Inside Bohemian Grove. It's free online.
All right.
There's another one called Order of Death that has the latest. And again, people can find it all free. They've tried to take it off YouTube.
So you snuck into Bohemian Grove. You were basically caught and questioned and allowed to stay to witness a ritual.
I was about to say, you're really smart, or did you do your homework? Because you're both. I didn't understand this till later.
Okay.
So yes, I'm given a passcode.
All right.
I think when the Secret Service questions me, that I acted confident, they just let me do it. But the truth was, they were just going through checking everybody, and they had the head sheriff there and everything. They were looking at me, and they let me go. I climb up underneath a log cabin, wait till it gets dark. Starting to get dark. I come out. They're all feasting under these giant redwood trees.
Feasting? What do you mean? What would they eat?
They're all at big, huge picnic tables under giant redwoods, like a cathedral.
But what would they eat?
Like prettier than any national park you've seen. I mean, they're out there eating steaks, whatever. I'm not getting down there with them. I come down out of the hills.
You didn't see what they were eating. Do you know that they weren't eating children?
No. This is all archetypal. Okay. This is only the first gate. Because they bring thousands of guests to this. There's about 1,000 members. They bring about 1,000 guests.
It's 2,700 acres. So,
but let me expand on that.
It's the size of a fucking capital city.
Yeah, and so it's a mock human sacrifice. They say
mock human.
Well, and I'll describe that.
Wait a minute. Who would find it necessary to mock a human sacrifice?
Well, sure, mock has that meaning as well, but mock means simulated.
Okay, who would have it useful to them and beneficial to them?
It's like a mock-up.
To simulate.
Well, they're doing it to see if the guests they've brought are into it.
Huh?
But the members are really getting off on it and going, ha, 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 while they do it. And then they bring in a hearse. They bring in a
So that must mean that
they bring a
so
wagon drawn, a black wagon with a child in a coffin.
Okay.
And then
a live child.
They no, I was 150 yards away.
Okay.
In the woods watching this.
Okay.
With the people down below me.
But wait, you 150 yards away in the woods.
This is like a devil worshiper movie where the kids climb over the hill and watch a human sacrifice.
I understand it.
So this really happened.
I understand that's what you're describing. I'm just trying to clarify for my own understanding. Listen. So you're saying you were 150 yards away, hiding in the woods, watching a mock sacrifice of a simulated sacrifice of a child in a black wagon brought in a casket. All right, I understand that part. Now, what I'm trying to say is earlier you said you were questioned.
Yes.
Okay, so you said you were questioned before the sun went down. Okay, so if you were questioned before the sun went down, how did you end up then 150 yards away in the woods still watching?
That's a good question. I mean, I made the film. There's 2 films. They're free online. Dark Secrets Inside Bohemian Grove. Remember, this is shot from a little hidden camera. You know, it's color back then.
I know that, but I got you here, so I don't need to watch the film. I can just ask you what happened.
Here we go. I go up to the end of the road. They've got checkpoints and guards.
Mm-hmm.
They've got a parking area right off here. There's like a little swamp right here.
Right.
Where they have these open back trucks that come and pick people up that work there and take them in or take members.
Right.
I crawl through. I sit there and act like I'm in a car, wait till some of these old men start going to get on the back of this flat back deal. We go rolling through. I'm dressed like a yuppie. They let me get in.
Mm-hmm.
Then I get off. I start walking up the hill. And I had a map that down here was the water and where the Moloch was, the owl. Moloch's also a bull, but has double meanings. I go up in the hills. I'm trying to, get away from folks.
Were you pursued?
Well, I was about to tell you, some Hispanic gentlemen ride by on a Cushman work cart. They whistle at me, and they say, "Oh yeah." They start laughing, going, "There's one of the." There's one of the prostitutes. I was good looking back then. Yeah, because I was like, 27 years old.
What I'm saying is, listen, they didn't pursue you for being a bogey?
They didn't know. I get in, I get out, I see some guys. Tell me what happened. Whistle at me. Okay,
they whistled at you in the wilderness.
No. It's roads in these woods. So you get in. You get past the checkpoint. Down here's where the owl is.
So you're basically like hiding behind a stop sign.
No, I'm just walking like I own the place.
Walking like
dudes walk by and whistle at me and tell me they want to have sex with me. It's very gay.
Okay.
I get up to the top of the hill.
Okay.
A sheriff, the sheriff, later learn, walks up with Secret Service and they say, "Who are you with?" And I said, "I'm here with the I'm here with the hillbillies," and that's actually the camp and the group of the Bushes. I figured I have a Texas accent. They go, "Really?" I go, "Yeah." So I go on up. All of a sudden, I go down a little side road. I see a police car drive by. I say, "I better hide." I climb up underneath one of these log cabins, and I wait till it starts getting dark.
Okay.
Then I get another tape in my little DV cam little deal, my little fanny pack.
Got you.
Which is super obvious. You're not going to walk around with this thing. And then I sneak down. I'm going down the hill.
This is not stylish enough. No gay man, right?
Listen, I'm going down the hill. And then I'm going down the hill, and there they are down there with all these big tables. There's photos of this online that they've since released.
I get you.
All eating food under the redwoods. I go down here. I get in position in the woods. They all start leaving. They go around and get around the pool.
Okay. The pool is in like a pool, a swimming pool.
No, it's an artificial. It's like a pond, a lake right there.
Okay.
It's like a long reflecting pool in front of the owl.
All right.
I kind of hang out. People are already there waiting on the edge.
Is it a fountain?
No, it's a pool. There's bats flying around, grabbing bugs. Absolutely, tons of bats. So there's all these bats flying around eating bugs. It's a beautiful night. The sun's almost down.
It's a beautiful night with tons of bats flying around?
Well, if you go up in Northern California, there's a ton of bats in the summer.
Flying around eating bugs.
If you go to Austin, there's like millions of them.
Okay.
There's just bats everywhere.
Yes,
so
sir.
There's these,
Continue.
So there's little, they're called Mexican brown bats. That's a species.
Right.
There's all these Mexican brown bats flying around. And I have no species because Austin has a record number of them as well. That's what lives in the southern part of the United States and the West. Okay. And so we're sitting there.
And this is what state?
This is Northern California.
Okay, say less.
Sonoma County.
Okay, go ahead.
You can go there on July 15th. There'll be a bunch of protesters outside.
You know what? Guess what? I pass.
Well,
go ahead. Let's hear more.
And I'll tell you a story. I'm walking by, and I've told this once, but I don't like promoting this stuff just from either side.
All right.
Danny Glover's there.
Oh, shit.
And he's talking to folks and everything. And then I'm walking by to go down when they're breaking up from the meal to go down to the pool where I know the owl's at. And I hear some old men that look about 98 call him going, "What's that guy bleeping N-word doing here?" So I actually did hear that while I was there.
And Danny Glover heard them say this?
No. I'm like, I'm trying to not be seen here. And there's Danny Glover. And then who was Bill Clinton's top advisor? Later I saw him, one of the most powerful guys in D.C., Jordan, whatever his name was there. Those are the only two black guys I saw. And
but Danny Glover was there, an actor.
And I heard, just because I was like, that's Danny Glover. I'm trying to not be seen. I'm in the crowd. Right. And I hear these old men going, bleeping, So I did actually hear some racist stuff there.
Right. But you still saw black people there. So racism, racism even exists in, like, Satanism.
Yes, I mean, I'm just telling you.
Even within Satanism,
I'm like, there's Danny. I'm like saying, there's Danny.
That shit to me is bewildering. Even if we have all come together to agree to worship a dark being by the name of Satan, even if we've come to do all of these things, there is still a dividing class, and people still will call me a nigga. We can't just all be Satan worshipers. You know what I'm saying?
I don't think Danny Glover.
Am I not in a superficial, extraterrestrial, outside of my human form being when I become? So I'm still considered a nigga even when
Tim,
I become.
I only told that story because I get knowing you're being targeted and then wanting to point it out so people stop doing it.
Right.
I'm just getting to the fact that. I only brought that up because it's true, and that was something that happened.
I mean, I appreciate you bringing it up because it provides a certain level of insight.
But listen, I don't want to slander Danny Glover.
No, we're not slandering Danny Glover.
No, you're not.
Because you're not even saying that he's there. I'm going to take it as though you
look
saw
like Danny Glover.
Someone who looked like Danny Glover.
But I want to be clear. I looked it up later. He's another guest. But let me tell you, I knew Charlton Heston. He wasn't bad. And I also love... of course, one of the greatest actors of all time, Clint Eastwood. Clint Eastwood is a member. What I'm trying to explain is...
What is the purpose of the group? What is their
all
mission?
thinly veiled. It was started by Mark Twain.
But what's their mission
statement?
So
they get all the top actors, and they get the top musicians. The Grateful Dead is played there, and a lot of them aren't getting what this ritual is. It's a Faustian German death cult ritual.
May I ask, what's their mission statement?
Their mission statement is weaving spiders come not here and forget about the cares of the world and do basically a voodoo ritual. But I don't say that from Africa. That's just a common term of where you put something onto something else. Like they used to have spirit sin eaters in old Europe and England where they'd have somebody where somebody died, you put a piece of bread on their stomach, and a sin eater would come and believe that they ate some of the sins and take some of the bad mojo. That's basically the same as voodoo. And so they do voodoo there, and it's a ritual where you put all your cares onto this child that you give to the idol, and they take it very seriously. But the way it was described to me is a lot of people that go to it, it's a place to party, hang out, talk about stuff. Not everybody's having sex with dudes. There's a bunch of female hookers.
I'm sure if you want some pussy, if you care about pussy, you can get some.
Well, no, they keep the women in a whole bunch of nice little hotels literally at the end of the street. Right. So about 400 yards down.
But the women aren't invited to the...
No. But about 400 yards down the street...
You got to leave the ritual to go back and get you some pussy.
There's a golf course, and there's about 10 little motels. And, man, you walk in there, they got jets landing from all over the world. All the top hookers and porn stars are there.